In terms of implementation, the way that I was looking at it was almost like threefold. For me, capacity building is important. So it was about thinking about staff and what staff need to be able to implement a rights-based curriculum in the classroom. So that involved in-service days, allowing time for staff to explore what learning for sustainability was, where a rights-based curriculum fitted into that, and also how it related to the behaviour scheme as it stands, and very much challenging staff actually in terms of look at what we're doing and how does that really fit into a rights-based ethos, and getting people to think differently maybe about how we encourage children to make the right choices. How to actually implement things in the classroom. So that involved a lot of practical stuff, which actually Miss McGonigal was involved in, showing people how to navigate the website, just brushing up on actually what the articles were. And then the other aspect of it is about school ethos and how this rights-based curriculum changes very much our disposition towards the children. So we're looking at children as people who have ideas and opinions of their own and who don't need to comply with everything we do. They can challenge us slightly, critical thinkers who are thinking slightly differently, and also children who are taking the lead in their own learning, which makes a difference to the relationships you have in the classroom. In a practical way as well, we do a lot of assemblies. I almost always every week speak at assemblies about rights in one way or another, and it's making those explicit links between what you're doing and where rights fit into that, because every school is doing things that relate to rights, but they're not always explicitly making it clear and apparent that it's related to rights. Some of the key features are, in a practical way, having the class charters in every classroom, which Miss McGonigal very much had introduced at the start of the term, and possibly even last term as well, I'm not sure. So each class has its own charter, each class has particular articles that they've chosen, and they've been chosen by the children. And these charters are things that the children and the teachers can make reference to on a daily basis to help them think about what it is that they should be doing in their classrooms. And more recently, we've also started to create a playground charter, and that's a body of work which involves teachers and support staff and pupils. So everybody has a say in what goes into that charter, and then next academic session we can start to implement that and have it, displayed in the playground and make a lot of reference to that when we're thinking about our behaviours throughout the year. So these are very practical things that do help in the classroom as well. But I think one of the most important things is this idea of children being their own leaders of learning, and I think that's very much part of a rights-based curriculum, that children are, wherever possible, we're giving children more and more and more say and responsibility in terms of how it is they want to learn. And it's quite exciting when you do that and you actually notice what children can do when you give them the chance. And one of the key examples of that was the playground challenge that they did on Friday, which had very, very little adult input and was quite an amazing event for the primary sevens to have managed to pull off in such an exemplary way.
So over the last few years we've worked very hard as a school on our teaching and learning and the thinking behind our curriculum. We felt we were at an ideal time to be beginning to look at where the pupil voice impacted on the continuous improvement of the school. We had been thinking a lot as a school about the wellbeing indicators, and we'd talked a lot to the children about the Shinari indicators, and the children had a really good understanding of that, and it naturally led us on to children's rights and to having the children empowered to be able to take aspects of school improvement forward.
I think it was really important for us at Longniddry Primary School to go beyond the superficial level of pupil voice and really get the children involved in actually driving school improvement forward. And once we got the children involved, and that was really obvious, that was something the children were able to comprehend and understand. Within classes, children have developed their understanding of children's rights by learning about children's rights, and they're also about learning through children's rights as well, whether that's through their topic work or other work related in class as well, and teachers have obviously come on board with that, they're planning for teaching and learning. And finally as well, it's about learning for rights too, so the children have developed not only their knowledge about rights, but how they can then use that in order to help other children around the world too. It takes us back a few years ago, we started to develop the school's vision, values and aims, and That was a really difficult task to begin with. It took a long time to do because we made sure that we included all stakeholders, so parents, the children and the teachers were involved in that process. So over the period of, say, a session, we were able to develop our vision, values and aims involving everyone's voice along the evaluation stages as well. And for us, it was really important that it wasn't a poster on the wall, that it was something that children actually believed in, it was something that was in practice in our day-to-day classes, in our school assemblies, and it was something that when we're learning in class, we can link that to the aims in our school as well. So it's something that we should be able to see and we should be able to feel when we walk into people's classrooms or we walk into the school. The children very quickly were able to see how our school aims linked to children's rights and also the wellbeing indicators, which we did a lot of work on as well. So I think once the vision and values and aims were established, this really would lay at the heart of everything on what we wanted to achieve as a school.
At Longniddry Primary, our rights are met by allowing us to have our own voice.
At Longniddry Primary School, our rights are met by having a class charter with all the rules we should follow, and except we also get to add stuff to it.
At Longniddry Primary School, we get to choose the rights that go into our class charter.
It's good at our school that we know our rights because people can't take them away without us knowing.
In my class, we've been doing something learning our rights, and we have a diamond grid that we were using, and we have wee cards with rights on them, and we pick our rights in a wee group of 4, and we try and decide on one we all pick. So we all pick one that we think is important to us, and we try and we all decide on a right that's most important to us. And we picked Article 19, children have the right to be safe and happy. And we all picked one, and this is the one we're learning now. We chose that one because we think safety is most important to us, because we don't want to get hurt, and our parents and adults around us will look after us so we don't get hurt or harmed in any process of anything.
In my class, we get to do persuasive discussion so we can have our own opinions in class, and we get to share it with our entire class. It's good to do persuasive discussion in writing because it lets us give our opinion, and that's one of our rights, to have our own opinion. In our class, we were doing if children over 12 should be allowed a phone or if children under shouldn't. And everyone was writing it in their jotter, and they had to give reasons why it could help children under 12 and 3 reasons why it's bad for them. And then we had to put a conclusion at the bottom.
The primary 7s helped all the children get into the activities and show them what to do, and we planned it all so they could know. We just all got into groups, and then we put it into easier for the wee ones and harder for the P4s to 6s, and then they all came down and tried it out, and then hope they had fun at it. The teachers didn't really have to do it, and then the pupils took care of it. It was good for the children to do it because they've got their own opinion for stuff that they want to do.
How do you feel your voice is heard at school?
Well, we have the Pupil Council and the Pupil Senate, and they discuss the issues that are relevant to us that we put forward, and then they can take action on it if they decide that it's alright.
Do you feel you're able to access different rights at Harlaw?
Yes, definitely. I feel like most of our rights are upheld, if not all.
What opportunities are there at Harlaw?
Well, we've got all the sports activities, like the PE department, we've got loads of different groups, and then we have different music groups as well, and that's the two sort of main extracurriculars, but we've also got things such as the Alliance group and coding club if you're into that sort of thing.
How do you feel your voice is heard at school?
I think my voice is heard really well at school through the class representatives who always go to meetings and take everyone in the class's ideas and pass them up to the higher people in the school.
Do you feel you are able to access different rights at Harlaw?
I think I'm able to access most of my rights at Harlaw because when we get lessons about them, we always make sure that we know that that's what we should be able to have in the school, and I think we're getting most of them, yeah.
What opportunities are there at Harlaw?
There are lots of opportunities, including sporting clubs and non-sporting clubs like Defenders and Studios. How do you feel your voice is heard at school?
I think it's heard quite loudly, I suppose you could say that. I've been involved in a lot of projects in the school, and I think I've been able to contribute as much as I can to the projects that are going on.
Do you feel you're able to access different rights at Harlaw?
Absolutely. I think all of the rights in the UNCRC are very accessible to the pupils of Harlaw, and we worked hard to ensure that everyone feels that same way.
What opportunities are there at Harlaw?
There's a lot of clubs at Harlaw that anyone with any sort of experience or anyone from any walk of life can access and can have fun in and meet people that are like-minded.